It's my latest project. I've just made a template for this old Teleax, or rather Variax 600, which I bought and did a transplant on. So I bought some card at the Gothenburg guitar show. I bought this old left-handed knackered old Fender HSS pickguard, which I've drawn around and used the front of the old Variax guard, because the front is a bit different to the top of the thing. So that looks quite nice on there. I've bought some wood as well, so I'm going to make a wooden pickguard. So that this is obviously the routing. You can see what routing needs to be done. I haven't drawn it in yet. I'm adapting the bridge, which is here. This is the bridge that came out. This is Trem. It's an LR bags. I've ordered some Ghost saddles and a Hexpander kit, so I'll just swap those saddles out and hook them up to the Hexpander preamp, the Ghost preamp, which should work nicely with that. And I've ordered the saddles to go with vintage Trem, which this is like. And I figured I'd put the preamp in the old battery compartment, because it's going to be powered off a 13 pin. It doesn't need a battery, and I can reuse that cover. The other one's broken on my Teleax. Springs will go in there, so I was going to make matching wooden covers to match the pickguard to go on the back. A bit easier than the front pickguard, because it's just a question of using the ones I took off as templates. That's the spring cover there. And I've ordered, I've got the two necks over here. Interesting. This is the old 300 neck. It's got a rosewood fingerboard. It's a nice neck. I enjoy playing this guitar. The original Line 6 tuners. But this is an old maple, very nice maple neck, which came off the 600, which I'm going to put back on, and I'm putting a tronical automatic tuning system on it. And I'm going to call it the Anarchaster or Anarchaster X in honour of the Firebird X, because with a 13 pin out on this, the HHS pickups, I'm putting Ludgren pickups on it. They're coming in the post. I've got a Tele neck pickup going, a vintage Tele from Ludgren, Johan, who I met at the guitar show yesterday, and he's putting a Stratocaster base plate on it, so it'll fit onto the Stratocaster guard, which is what this is going to be. Obviously that's my template for both routing and for making the pick guard. And then I've got a sucker bucker with coil tapping, a single coil option or humbucker option, in phase and out of phase, so three-way selector on my humbucker. And the middle pickup is his 90s high output bridge pickup, which can go in the middle. He's going to check that the phase of it doesn't conflict with the Tele, but we figured it would work okay with that. So this guitar is going to be a rather special thing, because the Ludgren pickups, Chrissy Hine plays them. I really like the Pretenders. There are lots of other people on his website that plays them. He's got a wonderful, you can try the different pickups in a guitar he has there. They drop in and out, and they're mounted on kind of wooden cards which have the contacts, so when you drop them in you can turn them on and off in the combination you want to see what you're going to play. So I took some photos of my combination, which I'll put with this video. And I think that's it for this one. I'm thinking I've been thinking about making it a kind of a thin line, but I think with this pickguard on the back it'll be looking okay, and I've got a bit of an idea for the custom paint job, but I'd really like this blue. It's like the old Strat Pelham blue, isn't it? Anyway, that's a good evening's work getting that template done. I'm pleased with that. It'll have a 5-way selector for the selection on the pickup. It'll have the humbucker switch, and then it will also have an extra MIDI volume knob for the expander. I'm not putting a Acoustasonic on it. I might change my mind and just piggyback one later. I got 2 knobs just in case, but I'm figuring that this one I'll use with my VG8, my Rackvax, and I'm planning on buying a GR55 as well. Yeah, quite excited about this guitar. Should be pretty cool. Well, time goes on. I've now drawn the template onto this piece of birch plywood. That's my F-hole design, anarchy sign one end, peace sign the other end, and then cut out in the middle, and then I'll route it underneath, because like I said, I wanted to make this like a thin line. There's the HSS cover plate according to that. That's the outline of the back spring cover. That's going to be the preamp cover for the Ghost bridge going into the expander, which I drew around the battery compartment. There were my 2 stencils for those 2 circles, and then that little square there is the end plate, the jack plate, my 13 pin out, and I'm not going to put a surface mounted strat jack plug. I'm going to put a regular end plug in, so I've got a 1/4 inch out underneath my 13 pin out, which I'm going to just recess into it so it's flat with the curved blue top of the guitar over. Here's the top of the guitar here. So once I've got this cut out now with the jigsaw, I'm going to do 2, because I've got 2 guitars routed like this, so I'm going to make 2 of the pick guards, but not actually cut out this second one for the pickups, in case I decide to change the pickup configuration on that one. And the second one I may not do as an F-hole. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with that one, but I may as well sort of, I've got these 2 pieces, I'll clamp them together, and then when I run round it, that should give me 2 of them. This is firmly clamped, easy enough to do. So I'll do 2 end plates, and I'll do 2 battery covers actually. Cool. Next instalment, I've made my pick guard here, which I think will sit on quite nicely. It's just dry, and I've just put some really hydrating oil to stain it a bit, and some guitar polish on it. I'll decide whether to leave it like natural wood or whether to put I bought some yacht lacquer, which I thought might look quite nice. But anyway, I'm going to let that dry a bit and see what's what. I've made the tail plate. Well, I've started making the tail plate. I've made the preamp cover thing. I haven't done anything with that yet. Made the tremolo guitar spring cover. I've also made this F-hole, or started making this F-hole. The theme of this guitar is Anarchaster, and I made an F-hole out of an anarchy sign and a peace sign. I'm deciding whether to put that on or not. It's got a tremolo, this guitar, and it's got lots of options with the pickups. and that's quite a lot of work to route that and put it into the guitar. I was thinking of routing the pickguard down 2mm, which would mean routing over the whole of the top. I haven't got a router, I've got this thing called a skill tool which does routing, which, you know, I've routed the humbucker at the back there, and I've routed for the Tele there. I've got to make a shelf for where the height adjustment goes, and I've got to do that for the top of the humbucker here as well. The middle pickup is fine as it is. I've pricked out the holes for the adjustments. Can't see them with the polish now, but there's a little dent in there. I've drilled to countersink the screws. I quite like the idea of sort of having a bit more chunkiness, because it's quite a slim guitar. Well, it's got a cutaway so it seems slimmer. That is the Variax. But anyway, I'm still sort of making it up as I go along, so we'll see how we go. I did a stencil more or less of the sign that I put on my Teleax, which is here. And I carved 2 at a time, so I've got some here ready to go with this other one. It doesn't need the spring cover, but I was doing 2 at a time. This is what the raw cutout looked like. That's the right way up. You can see I jigsawed those out this morning. They scrub up quite well. I'm very pleased with them. Update, just made the 13 pin and 1/4 inch jack plate. To get them to fit, I had to cut them in half and make a 45-degree angle, but now they sit in there quite nicely. Hold on. Put this here. Just slots in there. Slots in there. Yep. 2 and throwing. A few fine adjustments, I guess, but you can see the idea. Yeah, just got to adjust them a bit. So that's going to be cool. Anyway, I've gone over this again now. That's now routed for a humbucker and a strat base plate holding a vintage Telecaster, and the middle one's fine anyway. Top plate is routed and ready to go too, so, and all sits on there. Pocket lines up. So I'm going to actually shield it now. Pickup should come tomorrow or the next day. Towmen have said that the ghost bridge and the tronical thing's on its way, so I'm going to get on and do the shielding on the back of the pickguard and the shielding of the cavity, and the preamp is going in the battery compartment, and that doesn't need shielding. One completely shielded cavity, sunglasses on. Back of the pickguard next, and the next thing is solder it all together when the bits come. Sneak preview, still a few decisions to be made here. The chicken head knobs are for the mag pickups. There'll also be a selector switch for the humbucker, which is single coil humbucker or I think coil tap or out of phase, I forget which. So there'll be the pickup selector switch here, and the humbucker switch I guess I'll put on the front, and then this one here is the volume for the hexaphonic 6-pin output. That's the 13-pin plug, and there's two switches that go with that, an up-down for the guitar stuff, synths, and a dark mid switch I think, or is it on off? Anyway, I will go into that more when I finalise what I want to do with the wiring on it. I haven't really quite made up my mind exactly what I'm going to do yet, but I've got the Expander Advance kit coming, so I've got to change the saddles on the bridge. Here these saddles are coming off, there'll be spares for my other Variaxes. That summing brought all the lead out, come off, it's not needed. So that's a trim bridge which will go back on. And then I'm quite excited about the Tronical auto tune which is coming as well, which all fits on there. Here we are, type C one. This fits on the back of the headstock here, and I got strat type tuners. You can have tulips or strat type tuners, and I might order some decals for the Anarchaster. I kind of engraved and then went over with my soldering iron this Anarchaster sign, but that's looking really nice. I like the colour. Still haven't decided whether to put yacht lacquer on it or just to polish it up with wax and guitar polish, but it's nice to see it coming together.